All right, I think we're going. All right, I'm gonna ride y'all around a little bit, show y'all neighborhood, and I guess maybe how I go to work and way home, all that good stuff. So let's back up and go through the neighborhood here. Y'all just have to close your ears if my filter comes off a little bit with all these crazy drivers. So, go to the end of our driveway here, and it's on the end of, well, we'll come out to 156. And then we're gonna, let's see, we're gonna go back to the right. So we're gonna head south on 156, and we're gonna go to the end over here to Gateway, and it circles around. Got a little background noise going, a little CCR, so if you don't like the music, you gotta mute it. Oh. Alright, so we're headed south on 156. Back to the neighborhood. The first road we're coming to is Lonesome Dove. It bisects the whole loop. Gateway circles around entirely, and then Lonesome Dove cuts straight through the middle. I think from our driveway all the way around Gateway, I think it's about 3.6 miles, maybe 3.2 miles, something like that. We got some new houses going up and stuff in the neighborhood. They just drilled a new well. They drilled a new well over the last several months. They just finished it up last month and drug all the rigging equipment out. It's going down to a new aquifer, deeper aquifer than what we're on. Hopefully it'll fix a little bit of hard water. We got some hard water with a lot of calcium in it. Alright, so you run 156 south all the way into what's called 229 or Gateway. The neighborhood side of the road is Gateway. If you take a left here, it'll go back down 229. 229 runs into the back side of New Underwood, but we're gonna go right and circle around the neighborhood. And the neighborhood road isn't managed by the county or state. It's all part of the road fund. These people have to pay extra fees or whatever for the road maintenance. They've been grading and putting gravel on and all that good stuff. But ours is maintained by the county, so they scrape and do all that stuff we don't have to worry about. They're expanding the neighborhood to the left-hand side. They're putting in new roads and stuff like that over that direction. They haven't built any houses, just starting on road systems. Here's another road. It cuts north like into sections. It's Latigo Avenue. It'll come back over to Lonesome Dove. But pretty much all these houses, they've got anywhere from 5 to about 20 acres on average. They have about 6 to 10 maybe on average. I think there's only one house that has 20, and I think they bought 2 plots. Now we're getting to where Gateway's going to circle around. Everybody's putting up fence, looks like today, back this direction. end. There's a couple houses down there, but it's a dead end. And it looks like somebody's got somebody put a camper down there. But we're gonna make a right and go on around. Several of these houses have been for sale here recently, and they've been moving. I guess it's probably winter, early part of this year. They went up for sale. A couple of them, 2 or 3 of them here in the neighborhood. Technically the speed limit on this road's like 30 miles an hour, but a lot of people haul ass up and down this road. It makes a lot of people mad, and they go about 50, 60 miles an hour and gets all washed out and messed up. They start taking videos and pictures and posting them on the group web page for the neighborhood. Got somebody putting up a new pole barn, it looks like. It's like about a 30 by 40 or so. Now we're coming back up on Lonesome Dove, so I can take this down and go back out, or I can continue around. I'll continue around. One of the guys that live in here, I think he volunteers to mow all the ditching and stuff. He maintains the right of way, so he takes his tractor and bush hog and stuff and go around. Jess and I, we've been like this guy right here. I don't know if you can tell on the right, but he's got a bunch of aspen trees or conifers as windbreaks surrounding his entire property. And Jess and I have been thinking about doing some sort of windbreak trees to put all around, and we're trying to decide. Actually, there's a house for sale right there on the left-hand side for sale. They normally sell eggs too. Well, they also have a free library, I guess. They have a box at the end of the road with a library books in it that they can take, not library books, but their own books that you can grab and take and read and bring back. And I don't know if you can tell, but up on the hill, 2 buildings to the right, from straight ahead, that's our house. And the one straight ahead is the neighbor's. His last name's Tipton, and he's married to Denise. And Denise is actually one of the technicians for Monument at Specialty. So they live there, and we live next to them. But his dad owns the property across the road from us, and all up the hill. So I think he like maybe 800 acres, 1,000 acres, something like that. Greener than usual. This July is a little wetter out here. We've been having a lot of rain. Everything's nice and wet. It's actually been pretty cool. It's only 75 today. So now we're back at 156. Straight ahead's all that Tipton guy. That's all his dad's property. I don't know if you can see the hay bales off in the distance, but all that's their hay way back out in there. And so we're gonna make a left and go back north on 156, and it's gonna connect us back out to Highway 1416, and we're gonna run it into town a little bit. But yeah, it's a little more green, a little more hay. Normally they only get 1 cutting of hay, and it's almost looking like they're gonna get 2, which is unusual. July 4th, it was 61. That was the 2nd coldest July 4th in the history of Rapid City. The last one was like 1915 or something, and it was 60 degrees. So that's not common. It's usually closer to mid 90s, upper 90s. So we're enjoying the cooler weather. And we don't have railroad crossing lights out here, so if you're stupid, you're gonna get hit by a train. We call it natural selection. I don't know if you can tell, there's a red house over on the right-hand side, and it's the Tipton guy. He's got these three big grain silos. They run cattle. His son, the guy that lives next to us, he owns a grease collection business, and they use it for silage and such. So they do quite a bit over here on this side of the state. So now we're getting to, so it's about a mile, 1.6 miles from our house, from our driveway down here to Highway 1416. 1416 runs east-west. If we took a right, went east, it would be in New Underwood. We're going to take a left, and we're going to run it to up here for a little bit, for a few miles. We're going to run west on 1416, and the county maintains all this road. We're in Pennington County, so they do pretty good about keeping everything, you know, cleared up and good out here. Winter, they scrape and keep everything nice and good. They start up before, I don't know, probably before 5 a.m. scraping, getting everybody on the move. And yeah, so from that intersection down here where we're going to turn and get on the highway, on Highway 90 or Interstate 90, and run into town, it's about 6 miles, 6.5 miles. So total for me to get from here to the highway is like about 8 miles or so, 7 point something. A couple old German people who have ranches out here, and the next on the left, there's a red barn. I don't know if you can tell, but this guy, he's got 6 bison. He bought some bison when they were calves and put them out up here. He also has a small plane and a landing strip on his property, and he'll fly. You can see him getting his little plane, and he'll take off and fly and stuff. But he lives in that barn, and anyway, he's got a little plane right there, and he'll get in there, a little windsock. I don't know if y'all can see all that or not, but yeah. See him buzzing around. Some days I've seen him when he's taking off, and it's been pretty windy, and it's been floating all over the place trying to take off or land. A lot of people, they got these windmills. I don't know if you can tell. This is a small one in comparison to what they put up out here for places, but this is a home-sized one, and I don't know, it's probably 40 foot maybe. 30 foot, 40 foot up in the air. Our house is actually wired and has the concrete basing and everything. We just need to buy one and put it up. They're pretty pricey, so that ain't happening right now, but they do take a good chunk off your energy bill. Apparently, like they supply enough energy to your house for you to use, and you can actually sell everything back that you don't to the energy company. We're going to be looking at trying to do that. Y'all can tell on the right hand side or left hand side, there's people cutting hay, cutting up a field. Our neighbor, he's actually going to cut our yard for us. So we have I mow about 1.3 of acres of ours, and the rest of it, we have 7.9 total, and I mow about 1.3. So he's going to cut the rest of it, which is actually a pretty good amount of hay. I think we could get, about 10 to 15 big round bales off of it. I think that's what it was. But anyway, when we actually do have large animals we feed, it'll be a good little thing to have, because we don't have to buy no hay, which hay can get pricey. I think a 40-pound bale is running right up close to $8. And off in the distance, I don't know if you can go up, dip up and down, but when we get up here to the top, should be able to see. I don't know how big it'll be on the camera here, but should be able to look off and you can see the black hills, and they're I don't know, they're probably 50 minutes away. So it's about you can see from here to basically North Wilkesboro. Out from our house, you can get out on our deck and look, and you can see basically the same distance would be about North Wilkesboro. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a storm coming up, so we're gonna ride you around in some good weather for as long as we can. Normally the sheriff sits around here and he works traffic. He pulled Jess over. I think he flashes lights at dawn. Can't turn a woman loose in a car for nothing. Always trying to get tickets. But I digress. We're going to get up here in probably just another, almost a mile, and we're going to hang a right and go back north on Liberty. And Liberty, if you take it all the way around, it'll actually run you all the way into Box Elder, the proper. Like, we're in Box Elder, the limits, but we're the city limits is up here for Box Elder, and that's where the school is, the base, and all of that. So we're on the south side of the highway or the interstate, and the Box Elder city and base and all of that's to the north side of the interstate, which is not a bad little drive. It's about 9 miles total. You can get to a Dollar General. We got a grocery store called Timmons, and then the base is up there. There's a post office up there. 3 schools. You got all 3 schools, age brackets, elementary, middle, and high. They're all up there. And let's try to think what else they got up there. They got a Dairy Queen. They still sell the Orange Julius, and that was one of the trade-offs apparently Dawn found out, is if Dairy Queen wanted to sell food, they had to give up the Orange Julius, making it, and if they wanted to keep it, they couldn't ever sell food. So this one up here doesn't sell food, they just sell ice cream treats, and they still sell the Orange Julius apparently. But now we're gonna take a left right here on interstate, get on 90. We'll run into Rapid a little bit. Gotta warm the tires up a little bit. Sorry, been watching too much NASCAR. Gotta get going. Alright, Hemi engaged. That's the weird thing out here. They don't know how to merge. People come down the interstate ramp and they just want to float out in traffic. It doesn't matter who's there. They expect you to move over for them. And I don't move. You're not supposed to. But anyway, out here, they'll just float down the ramp on top of you if you're not careful. But coming into Rapid, you can see all of Rapid right at this point. I don't know if y'all are able to, but pretty much you can see all the major municipality area, and then you can see it running into the hills. They kind of got like a dark color to them. That's why I call them the Black Hills, but that's all the conifer trees against the green grass. Right now it's more traffic than usual. The weekend people visiting, the summer people visiting, or bringing their campers, and there's so many campers up here. Coming in to see Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is only like 30-minute drive, maybe a 20-minute drive from downtown Rapid. It's just up Highway 16 a little bit. But it's pretty much the way I go every morning. Speed limit, it's 7 65 right through here. So where I get on right there, Liberty, it's 65. That's where it changes. If I were to go back east, it would switch over to like 75, I believe. Then you can run, 75, 80. South Dakota troopers, they're pretty stern on the speed limit. They don't want you going over like 1 mile an hour, so South Dakota's not the place to speed. We normally have one that sits up here. We're going to go around this curve a little bit, or what they call a curve out here, and this little bend in the interstate. And there's usually one sitting up here clocking as they come into town. They've been doing a lot of building out here. New hotels, new apartment complexes. Like this thing, Rapid City is one of the fastest growing places in the U.S. And I think it's the #1 growing area in the, I want to say, the west or the northwest maybe. There's a lot of people moving in. Take y'all straight to the hospital, let y'all see how I can get all the way to work, and then we'll figure out where to go from there. We may ride over to Jess's work from the hospital so y'all can see it, and then I don't know, we'll see how traffic is and whatnot, how the storm's looking at that point. But usually I leave the house, if I got to be at work at 7, I'm leaving the house about 6, anywhere from 6 to 6:15, and I get to work and get to my desk from walking about 10 minutes early. So it's a little bit of a drive in the mornings, and it varies. I don't know why, but back home, you could pretty much set your watch to how long it would take you to drive to work. Some days I can vary 15 to 20 minutes. But this exit right here, if we were to get off there, that would take you up to Mount Rushmore or the Crazy Horse Memorial. It's one way you can go. It'll take you up and kind of bypass all the city stuff. Storm's moving in faster than what it looked like. It's the weird thing out here, you can see storms way off, and it's hard to gauge how far they are off. We're still getting used to all that. I mean, and actually from our property, you can actually see all the way over to what they call Bear Butte. It's up at the VA near Sturgis. This is where we're getting off. It's probably one of the most popular exits everybody gets off at. This is what I call the hellhole exit. It's where Target and Sam's and every place I try to avoid is. You get off here if you want to be angry. But we're going to get off here. That's how I go in the morning. And then we're going to go down here to the bottom of this exit ramp. Go left. If you went right, that's actually, these are the car dealerships, and this is where David worked. This is the Chevrolet dealership closest, but like just right across the corner is the Ford, and that's where David worked. But we're going to go up here and make a left and go back toward the hospital. If y'all can tell, I just looked over to the left, and there's the DMV is over there, the big one in Rapid City, and they're doing a motorcycle class. It looks like some people are getting their motorcycle license. They got some I don't know, it looks like 250s maybe, some like, yeah, it looks like 250s. I can't tell what they are though. But they're over there setting cones up and I guess getting checked off. I don't know if you can tell, but over up on the far left, on the top of that hill over there, they're building a bunch of new apartments and things over there, housing. We got that new B2, I think it's the B2 program coming into the Ellsworth Air Force Base, and so they're getting all the housing up and getting ready for all the new people. Can't remember how many. Half of the squadron is coming here, and the other half is going somewhere else. I can't remember where they said. But the squadron, all the support staff, all that stuff needed to run them is all coming in. And we got a place called Menards. It's kind of like a Walmart and Lowe's had a love child. It's horrible. Like, they got a great lumber yard. Like, you can get some really nice lumber in there. Lumber's much better than Lowe's, but God forbid you got to walk in that place and it's miserable. I try to go to Runnings, which I'll probably show y'all here in a second. Runnings would be over here. If this next light, it's Anamosa, and if we took a right here, that'd take you back to the Runnings. I go to Runnings, I go to Lowe's. That's about all I go to. Jess does all of our other shopping for us. People run lights out here like crazy too. I was telling my dad, you gotta be careful at stoplights because they'll change and people just keep coming through. They don't know what the red means out here. They just keep coming. So anytime you start to go, you gotta look left and right both times. It doesn't matter how often. Just gotta look because somebody nail you. Sorry about that. Consider this part 2. We're still in traffic. I don't know why it stopped recording. That was weird. I got battery, not much. I got multiple batteries, so don't worry about that. And I brought my charger, so we'll keep recharging and we'll just keep going. But yeah, it stopped recording for some reason. So I had to start y'all back up. That's probably one of the worst lights here in Rapid. People don't know how to act at it. You got people not merging and not yielding like they're supposed to, and it jacks everything up and makes this intersection miserable. Usually when alright, we're gonna try this again. I don't know. It says the camera's too hot. I ain't never had that happen before. So that's a new one. So we're gonna try to get over here and get to the hospital. Cool this sucker down and turn the AC to the window so that way it'll hopefully keep cool. People drive like it's a damn racetrack over here. I got some girl trying to hit me right here because she can't go fast enough. sorry, it's Family Fare, not Safeway. Family Fares. We have Family Fare and we have Safeway for our grocery stores and Timmons. I prefer Timmons, but they don't have as good a fruit selection. Actually, nobody has a good fruit selection out here. And so I typically go to Timmons for everything. If we need some fruit type stuff, Jess tries to go to Family Fare or wherever to find it. We've been getting some at Sam's actually now that the season changed. We're getting ready to turn up here in this next road. I can't remember the name of it right now. What is this road? Fairmont. We're going to turn up here on Fairmont, but if we continue straight, that goes out to the dump, and they're building a new cattle processing plant there. Be one of the biggest ones, and it's not, I don't know, somehow they broke away from the federal government, but they're still following regulations and everything, safe meat, but it's not owned by the typical people, and the ranchers out here all got together and created their own, like kind of like a co-op, to fight the low cost or low pricing they were getting from the government at their markets. So anyway, they're building that stuff out here. This is Fairmont coming into the hospital. They got a little skate park here, actually on the right-hand side. A nice little Lutheran church daycare stuff is over on the left hand. But that skate park, it's all concrete. Little kids, they come up here, and you know, the families, they got their bikes riding around. They got skateboards. They have an actual BMX track like they did over in Tanglewood, over behind the fire department. And they have some ball fields and stuff like that right here. Sorry about that, it went off again because it decided it got too hot. Let's see how much battery I got left. Can't tell. Now we're about to work anyway. Up here on the left, make a left in, that's the hospital coming up. Make a left, that's the new cancer center, all right there. Alright, so figured out what was going on. It's getting too hot. That battery was making everything in there. So I had to get up here to the parking lot at the hospital, and I had to swap out batteries and also figure I'm going to have to cut this into multiple different clips to kind of make it, because I can't record for apparently long standard times of like 30 minutes or so. So anyway, but I got y'all to work. Then we're going to head on back. The storm is rolling up rather quick. I don't know if you can tell how black the sky's getting over toward the left, but it is not looking friendly. And then the building straight ahead we're coming to, it's going to be on the right hand side, is the it's the Black Hills Regional Eye Institute. It's not part of the hospital, it's separate, but it's right beside the hospital. Anyway, that's the hospital, and that's my drive to work. So when I head home, come out the same way, go back pretty much the same way, except I do take the back road. I don't go back through all that trafficy stuff. I cut around to the back side, which I'll show you here in a second. We're gonna go back down this road to go back down Fairmont. Alright, so we're back over here the same way we came in, but we're gonna make instead of going straight and going all the way back up and out to the interstate, we're gonna turn right here on East St. Patrick. We're gonna turn right on here. And we're gonna go back over to Highway 44. And it runs east-west through the southern side. And right here, I don't know if you can tell, over on the left-hand side, right here, there's Paulie's Pizzeria. That's where we get pizza sometimes. Actually, we got pizza there last night. About maybe every maybe every 2, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, we'll get pizza there. This is kind of like the, I guess, south and east side of Rapid City. And over to the left, coming up, is Kiefer Sanitation. That's who services out our way. Here, or getting ready to make a right onto Highway 44, and if we were to go back right, Jess's work is just up there, maybe half mile, and then but we're gonna make a right and go back home. It's my gas station I always go to on the right hand side. It's an Exxon, but it's a clean gas station, good bathrooms, so far clean gas, and it's got a liquor store. Okay, got everything you need. Don't want to use the car wash. It'll scratch your car all to hell. At this intersection, we got our Jolly Lane greenhouse. It's where we like to go to the greenhouse, get some plants and whatever we need. Left hand side of the road is the Black Hills Speedway. It's a small little dirt track. I haven't heard them or seen them running recently. I need to look up their schedule, but I heard one of the technicians I work with, I think they said that somebody was running up there or something. So, but last year I know they were always going on the weekends. So 44, the direction we're headed, back east, it actually goes all the way to the airport. So it's not too far out of the way. It's about, I don't know, I think it's 5 miles from Jessica's work, probably about 4.5 miles from where we turned on to 44. Only bad thing is people like the person in front of us, they get in this left-hand lane and ride, and it's 65 through here and they're wanting to go. Typically people drag about 50 or 55 because they aren't from here and don't know what they're doing and just think the airport's right up here. But we're going to be making a left up here in, I don't know, just a little bit on Radar Hill Road. And Radar Hill Road will connect us back over to 1416. Come on, go ahead and pass them. Hemi engaged. It's right now it's 11:47, so probably started about 11:15 my time. So what is that, like 1:15 y'all's time? All right, so here's Radar Hill. We're going to take a left and go back north. Oh, we're going to try to get turned here. There's a piece of heavy equipment tractor coming. I don't want to get stuck behind it. Actually, here in a little bit, we'll be able to, when you get to the very top of Radar Hill, you can actually look over and see all of the Air Force Base. Ellsworth is all out through there. You can see all the hangars, you can see the towers, you can see base housing, you can see everything. so we'll get up here in just a second. Hopefully it'll show up on the video, I'm not sure. It's been so long since I looked at it, I don't know what it looks like now. Starting to pave this section of road. This time of year is when they start doing all their repairs. They don't have much time to get it done before winter shows back up, but we had a problem with tractor trailers coming up and down this road all the time and tore it all up, so now they're having to go back and fix it all, and they put up signs saying that tractor trailers can't go through here. So it was a nice little cut through for them, but it's tearing the roads all up. I don't know if you can tell, but up here in the air, probably about the 1 o'clock position, there's a airliner jet landing. It's kind of, the airport's over to our right, and now it's about in the 2 o'clock position, and it's coming on down. It's typically the way American Airlines lands, comes into the airport. Tell, but that storm, it's coming up quick and it's growing. Gotta get home and let them dogs out. Everybody gotta run out, get their pee on, and get back inside before it starts lightning. And I don't want to get carpet all wet. Look to see how bad this storm is, and either later this afternoon, once it passes, I may ride y'all up to Box Elder and let y'all see that area, maybe out New Underwood. It doesn't get dark till about 9:45 or 10 o'clock out here, so we got plenty of time. Although Jess gets off work around 4, I think, 4 or 5. I have to check my honeydew list. I'm going to ride y'all around tomorrow a little bit too, see what she's got planned for us. Alright, so this hill is where you're going to be able to look over. I guess y'all can tell, but you can see quite a bit of ways off, and you can see the base coming around the top of the hill. Over about the 1 o'clock position, there's the base, and now we're putting it more into the 12 o'clock position. You can see the base, all the hangars over there. They've got one big hangar and a bunch of other ones where they put the jets, but that's Box Elder proper, the base and all of that. Right here in front of us is just like housing, just typical neighborhood. Tomorrow I got mowing on my duty list, so I'll probably have to get the lawnmower out, buzz around and mow. I gotta need to change the oil on the lawnmower too. it just reached, they said that I need to do a break-in oil change at, I think, 8 hours, and I think I got like 7.6 hours on there, so probably have to change the oil tomorrow and then mow, which I'll have to run out and get the oil filter and the oil, so I don't have any of it yet at home. That lawnmower, it's done a pretty good job getting it done, get it done quicker, and it looks better too. It does a better cut, having new blades, you know. But yeah, now I can get, it was taking me about 7.5 hours to get everything, you know, mowed and trimmed. Now it's about 3.5 hours to get everything mowed and trimmed, where I can go a little faster. This is Radar Hill Road, and it connects into Highway 1416. We're gonna make a right. It's a four-way stop. People behave about typical as anybody at four-way stop, as they do in North Carolina. People just run them like that one. A lot of this, they got a lot of military traffic going up and down this section of 1416, and typically they all peel off to the left up here and go back north into Box Elder to get back to base. We actually, over here on the left, I can't tell if you can see it, but there's an Old Dominion depot where they drop their trailers and stuff and empty them and unload them, and then or reload, whatnot. But Old Dominion runs out of here up and down the road. Of course, that's the Bell Star, which every military base isn't complete without a local strip club. Underneath the buses up in Box Elder, they got a little shed thing they park all the buses under so that the hail doesn't mess them up when it storms real bad. And the road, I don't know if y'all can see where that white Jeep just turned out, but that road, if we go back to the left, that would have been, that's Liberty, and that was how we got on the interstate before. We're going to shoot on through here, go a few miles back down in here, we'll be back home. They get kind of wild out here, and they'll shoot up out of the grass on the side of the road and just fly into the windshield or fly into the side of the car. I don't know if you can tell, you can see all the way out to our house from here. You get to the top of this hill, and you might be able to see it over to the right. Probably looks like a little dot on y'all's side of it since you're looking at this little video. This parallels Interstate 90, and it'll run, man, I don't know how far it goes. I've never taken it all the way out. This little house was for sale not too long ago. It's I don't know, probably 2-bedroom, maybe a bath or two, but he's got it sitting on 20 acres. I think he was asking like $250 or $240. Majority of the money was in the property, not the house. Road coming up at the top of this hill, we got to start slowing down, get on our turn signal, turn on the 156. And this is the other side of that Tipton's house here on the left. He's got a bunch of cattle out there. They moved some to the road across from us, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. They try to keep them when they're smaller and stuff up close to the house, and then this time of year they move them out away from the property once they're weaned. Coming up, you always got to slow down to 28 miles an hour, because if you don't, it's too hard on suspension. this little hill right here. That's Gateway Drive. And then we just go by it, and our house is the next driveway. Tell how dark it is now by pointing back out that direction, but it moved on in. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna pull on up here and get this thing cut off and get in the house and get these dogs out real quick and see about getting this posted so y'all can watch it. Love y'all.